I'm Wrestling Days, and you're watching to My Phenomenal Figures, the best channel on all of YouTube.
Money in the Bank 2024 was a letdown of a show. In this video today, I'm going to be going through my full review of the full show. So yeah, let's get into it. The main event as well was terrible. The most snail-paced main event I've probably ever seen. Felt like I was watching SmackDown for a six-man tag team match, and the ending was as flat as a bottle of 7-Up. Because, goddamn, that ending was bad. But, yeah, let's talk about the show. Don't want to be too negative. So, yeah, let's get into the first match. Starting off with the first match, we had the men's Money in the Bank match, which was an absolute banger of a match. I thought the match absolutely delivered, but the ending just was not it. So we started off with the men's Money in the Bank. Wasn't a fan of the match. I wasn't a fan of the winner. The match was good. I think we've seen better men's Money in the I've seen much better men's Money in the Bank matches. I thought last year's was 10 times better than this. The people in last year's match was not probably not better, but the match was just better. I thought this year had a really good lineup. We had Jey Uso in there. We had LA Knight in there. We had Andrade, Chad Gable, Drew, Jay, Carmelo Hayes. We had a really good lineup of superstars in this match, and I thought that the match just didn't deliver with the ending and the winner. For whatever for the most stupid reason, which I'll never understand, they end up giving it to Drew McIntyre. I have no clue why. That they decided to just throw the Money in the Bank briefcase in the bin and give it to Drew McIntyre and have him have a failed cash-in. Drew is just not who I would have had win this. So yeah, Drew wins the match. Good match. There was good spots in there. Like, LA Knight and Jey Uso were really good in this match. It was very fun watching them compete in this match. And I loved the ending where Jey was just taking out everybody's speared LA Knight. He was about to win it. And then they thought, they tricked everybody, and I thought that Jey Uso was about to win, but I kept saying, Drew McIntyre is going to come into the ring and steal this, and I knew it, and it ended up happening. Jey was amazing in this match. Another person that I got to talk about is Chad Gable. One of the best competitors in this match was Chad Gable. I thought he was just absolutely amazing. He was doing so many suplexes to different guys. He was doing some crazy stuff in there, man. Chad Gable is definitely one of the best wrestlers in the company. I really think Chad Gable is that good. I think he deserves a world title, not a mid-card title. I think he's that damn good. They need to push Chad Gable. They always are going to push him. They make out that they're going to push him, but they never do, and I hate that. I think it's so stupid. They just wasted the Money in the Bank this year, really. They could have gave it to Chad. They could have gave it to Jay. They could have gave it to LA Knight. They could have gave it to Carmelo Hayes. They could have gave it to everybody other than Andrade and Drew. But yeah, I thought this match was really bad. The suplex spot where he suplexed the ladder, Chad Gable suplexed the ladder onto Andrade, that was such an amazing spot. Very creative spot with the ladder when Chad Gable suplexed it into Andrade. I thought that was so cool. But yeah, other than the spots and stuff like that, Carmelo Hayes as well, I got to talk about him. He was absolutely incredible in this match. So yeah. The next match we got was Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker, which was an absolute banger of a match. Sami Zayn ends up winning. The only thing that I would complain about this match is it should have been a bit harder for Braun Breaker to beat Sami Zayn. It felt a bit too easy, in my opinion, of a W for Sami. It felt a bit too easy for Sami to get the win over Braun. They should have made Braun look a bit stronger in this match. That's the only bad thing I have to say about this match. Everything else was really good, though. And yeah, moving on from there. Then it was the women's Money in the Bank match. I don't have any women's figures that were in the match other than Io Sky. But yeah, I thought this was a great match. Tiffany Stratton ended up winning the match. Really good match. The only thing I would say about this match is there was a decent amount of botches in it, but that kind of just made it funner, to be honest, because it was funny, just joking about the botches. So yeah, it was Botch in the Bank. There was a lot of botches on this show. The men's Money in the Bank had a few botches in there. Semi Braun was fine. Women's had a lot of botches in there. I thought that was pretty bad. Yeah, other than that, Tiffany Stratton wins, and it was a good match. Moving on from that. Then we had John Cena come out and announce his retirement. He said he's going to retire throughout 2025, so I don't know when exactly it is. It's probably going to be in December because he kind of said something about that on the press conference. But yeah, it was nice to see Cena on the show. I thought it was really good that they let him do this on the show because it kind of added to the show in a way because I mean the men's Money in the Bank match was really bad. Having Drew win was really bad. So yeah, it kind of took the people down in Toronto from that because I felt like everybody in the crowd after the men's Money in the Bank match wasn't very happy because even for Sammy's match, it didn't really feel like the crowd wasn't that like alive and like happy about what's going on. You know, it was kind of very dead atmosphere, I think, until Cena came out. And then that brought the crowd up again and the people watching at home because I definitely think people are not happy about Drew winning. I definitely was not. I've already voiced my opinion on that. But yeah, we're going to move on. Cena's announced his retirement. One last run. Sad to see Cena go, but he can't keep doing it forever. So yeah. Just a few people I'd like to see him face would be Randy Orton, Grayson Waller, AJ Styles again, since he's one of my favorites. I'd love to see, since AJ's my favorite of all time, since I've been watching wrestling, I definitely would like to see AJ versus Cena. I'd like to see him face Zeth, maybe. That wouldn't be a bad match. I think they've had matches in the past, but imagine that match, again, that'd be really good. Damian would be a good one. Solo, again, he beats Solo. CM Punk's a good one. Drew McIntyre's a very good one. They could definitely Drew McIntyre. A guy who's right here, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's the future of the company. They could have him face Cena. There's a lot of possibilities for Cena's last matches. So yeah, really hope that they book this right because I thought Cena's last run in the WWE was terrible. Was not a fan of him losing to Solo, and the whole run was pretty bad. Damian Priest and Seth Rollins put on an absolute banger of a match. Not going to talk too long about this because what happened after the match is the most important thing that happened. Absolute banger of a match. Damian retained. The match was great. Ending was terrible. Drew McIntyre tries to cash in, and they botched the ending with the pin. So Seth Rollins was pinning Damian Priest. He hit a 3 count. The ref hit it for 3. Damian was down for 3, right? Then this was a very weird botch. Then they turned down the lights, and then a few seconds later they hit Drew's music. So what I think was meant to happen was Damian was meant to kick out, I'm pretty sure. Or the Drew was just meant to come out during that pin. So when the referee was counting the pin, Drew was meant to come out. So basically, that didn't happen. Drew coming out was botched. The pin before that was botched. So then Drew tries to cash in. I knew what was going to happen. Everybody knew that Punk was going to cost him. So Drew's going to cash in. You know, it's taken him a while. Damian gets back up, fights off Drew. Zach got up first. Zach gets up, fights off Drew. Then we get Damian. He fights off Drew. They're kind of fighting. Then, just as Drew's about to win, we get CM Punk. He comes out. He beats up Drew McIntyre. He basically costs him. Then we had CM Punk hit Drew McIntyre with the world title. And then Drew McIntyre gets pinned by Damian Priest. So Seth Rollins didn't even get pinned in this match, and he was in it. And he technically won because he got a 3 count. And now we're getting Damian versus Gunther at SummerSlam, right? I hope that Damian wins this, and then we get Seth versus Damian, and then Seth wins, and then we get Drew versus Punk at SummerSlam, of course. So then down the line, Drew, Seth, Punk for the world title, and Drew McIntyre wins it. So Drew versus Seth versus Punk for the world title. Seth's the champ because Seth beats Damian down the line after SummerSlam when Damian beats Gunther. and then Drew beats Seth Punk for the title. I'd love this to happen. I think this is definitely the best way out of this. Since they have added Seth Rollins, it is hard to record this. Oh god, here we go. Since they have added Seth Rollins back into this feud, now that they've added Seth Rollins into this feud, I think we're going to get a triple threat between Seth, Punk, and Drew eventually, and I'd love to see it for the world title. But yeah, other than that, I got to talk about Drew's Money in the Bank. Failed cash-in. I thought that this was absolutely terrible. They may as well have just threw the Money in the Bank briefcase in the bin. Terrible failed cash-in. Was not a fan of it. Like I said earlier in the video, should have gave it to Jey Uso. He's who I wanted to win. Should have gave it to Jey or Chad. Absolutely terrible. Moving on to the main event. Main event, it's the Bloodline versus Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Cody Rhodes, the current champ. So we have the main event. Good match. Nope, it was a bad match. Very boring. Snail pace. Not a great match. So Solo Sikoa ends up pinning Cody Rhodes. They pinned Cody Rhodes in this match. The new Bloodline stands tall. Terrible ending to a pay-per-view, in my opinion. It felt so flat, giving the win to Solo Sikoa. Yeah, not the greatest show. Not a fan of it. We're now going to get Cody versus Solo at SummerSlam. The only good thing that can come out of this is Cody wins and we get Roman Reigns' return. That's it. That's the only good thing. The match is going to be bad. But yeah, I'm going to start wrapping up the review now. I'm going to give the show a 6.5 out of 10. Thank you a lot for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Modern Figures. Modern Figures out.